Now 1:30 in the afternoon. The engines are started up on the Micromax engines, ready for us to go off and away, and we have got a driver forlorn off the start grid, but your lineup is as follows. Mies Huben, who took the win in final number 1, is one step away from winning the weekend. Jake Menton in the number 31, also representing the Netherlands, will be alongside. Dragos Avisur-Kutai from Austria is set to take up third position on the grid and was the one that bogged down and tried to start the engine and managed to get going. The Austrian will line up alongside Max Swiderski in the number 19 from the Netherlands. Boris Maximov completes the top 5 in the number 32. And the sole driver representing the Czech Republic, Zdeněk Babíšek, will start 6th. Germany's Niklas Casarino will start in 7th in the number 12. And Dan Holland Racing's number 47 of Scott Marsh will start on the outside of row number 4 in 8th position. Dean Hugendorn is not taking part and withdrew before the beginning of the first final earlier on today, as we now go on to the formation lap. 11 minutes plus an additional lap will then see us provisionally decide who will be winning the first of 3 international trophy tickets in Micromax this season, because the winner of this weekend will have an entry for the 2020 running, the second running of the Rotax Max Challenge International Trophy, taking place between the 8th and the 13th of December at the Cartódromo Internacional do Algarve in Portimão in Portugal. The drivers are now readying themselves for one final time. A far contrast to the hefty hot weather we had yesterday. And now the track is a deluge of water. The grip will be at a premium, as Avisur-Kutai might end up joining the back of the grid. But we will wait and see as he tries to catch up as quickly as possible. The rest of the field comes through. Turn number 10 and into 11. As Avisur-Kutai now trying to get into the grid. And now there's a little bit of contact between him and Boris Maximov. Maximov starting on 5th position, as the Austrian trying to get through into the position on the grid. Drivers told to slow as they enter into the tram lines. The accelerators are pressed down very significantly despite the wet weather conditions. Lights go out, we're racing. And Max Swiderski gets an absolute flyer up into the lead, through into turn 2. Jake Menton trying to fend off Mies Huben for 2nd position, going through into turn 3 and makes the move through. Avisur-Kutai trying to go up through the inside on Mies Huben, can't get through at the minute. All 8 drivers still making their way up the order. Looks like Scott Marsh has made up 1 position. Up into P7 goes the Brit, now trying to go for 6th, then makes the move up the inside, drifts a little bit wide, up the inside of Boris Maximov, and that allows as Marsh now drops down to the back of the field as it is 2 abreast, but Scott Marsh absolutely has got the fighter's spirit deep behind that visor, and we've had a jump start penalty awarded, and the driver it has gone to is the one that is leading, well, that was leading the race. It's not leading the race now. It is Jake Menton that has just been handed a 5-second time penalty for a jump start, as Max Swiderski trying to keep Mies Huben at bay. Now, effectively, what needs to happen now, Mies Huben is on 25 points, Max Swiderski on 16. If Huben finishes 3rd and Swiderski wins, he will be given the weekend win. as Huben trying to go up the inside of Swiderski, who powers around the outside of turn 2. Drifts a bit sideways as applying the throttle through 3. Into the left at 4. Now up to 5. Again, he goes sideways, and he's managing to correct it using the steering, but it understeers like a good one going through turn 6 as Huben trying to get the run goes side by side. Leaders heading down into turn number 7. They are nearly interlocking wheels. The sidewalls are slightly rubbing, but Mies Hubens makes it through by an absolute whisker. It was nothing between the sidewalls on those two drivers, but they're both going sideways coming through turn 8 as they're trying to apply the power. The back tyres are spooling up, the traction starting to break, and in the meantime Genk Menton trying to go up the inside of Max Swiderski through into turn number 9, but ends up losing his own run of momentum as he goes a little bit sideways on the onto the entrance of turn number 10. So now this is going to be an interesting race, because effectively if things were to finish as they do now, Genk Menton is 1.5 seconds behind the leader, and if he gets a 5-second penalty, that'll drop him down to the 8th and final position on this field. But there is still another 8 minutes to go. However, Scott Marsh in the meantime looks to be up into what looks to be, I think, 5th place at the minute, as he goes up the inside of Zdeněk Babíšek, and the Czech driver now trying to fight back, gets in front of the British driver, heading into turn number 7. Boris Maximov rounds out the top 6. Dragos Avisil Kurtai from Austria and Niklas Casarino round out the 8 positions. Casarino in the first final was actually given a time penalty post-race for a front fairing infraction. So the gap between Mies Hubben and Max Swiderski last time around was nearly a second. Looks to be a little bit more than that now, as Mies Hubben goes to sweep back into turn number 12 through the final corner. Comes across the line. Sets the fastest lap of the race, a 1 minute 21.559, and the gap has nigh on doubled. So it's just over 9/10 of a second. It's gone to 1.770. Genk Menton down in 3rd place, 2.971 seconds off of the leader, but has a 5-second time penalty. That'll put him 7.971 seconds behind the leader, dropping the Dutch driver down to 8th position. Scott Marsh trying again, using the tighter running line as Zdeněk Babíšek loses the back end slightly, allows Scott Marsh to get through into 4th position. Boris Maximov now trying to chase the pair down, and on the back bumper goes the 32 from the Netherlands on the number 35 from the Czech Republic. Mies Hubben still at this moment in time is leading by 1.770 seconds. And he's gone faster by over nearly a quarter of a second in sector 1 as Zdeněk Babíšek tries to get past through turn 10 on Scott Marsh. Marsh tries to get the power down going through turn 10 to go towards the outside of turn number 11. As now they will go through turn 12 as Marsh goes round the outside of Boris Maximov, who tries to go up the inside. Zdeněk Babíšek now having to fend off Scott Marsh, who's right on the back bumper. And the pair nearly interlock, left front and right rear wheels as they go across the start-finish line. Marsh up the inside of Babíšek. Babíšek towards the outside through into turn 3. But Marsh takes the inside line, puts the power down, comes through the exit of turn 4. Babíšek still on the 47. A little bit further back, Avisil Kurtai and Casarino still battling away for what is 7th position on the road, as Scott Marsh jumping up and down in the seat of the 47, trying to get some pace in that kart, but again Zdeněk Babíšek manages to get past. Boris Maximov in the meantime nearly tries to throw it up the inside through turn 7, but the Brit defends. And this is allowing, in the meantime, Dragos Avisil Kurtai from Austria, Niklas Casarino from Germany to close the gap. Babíšek now being hounded by Marsh. but then gets a better run out of the corner as Boaz Maximov trying to go up the inside of Scott Marsh into turn 10. Makes the move go sideways. That allows Marsh to try and catch up, and he jumps up and down again in the seat. Trying to help bolster the cart down on all 4 contact patches. 4 minutes and 11 seconds to go. Mies Huben now has a 3.3 second advantage over Max Swiderski. So effectively that puts Mies Huben on a maximum score and Max Swiderski on 36 points. Provisionally speaking, Jake Menton will drop down from 3rd and will drop down, if it's finished now, would drop down to 6th place. So that would allow, so Jake Menton would be out of the running in terms of going possibly for the podium, because if it was 6th place, it would give 10 points, meaning Max Swiderski would take 2nd place in the standings at the end of the weekend by 6. But Mies Huben again, getting away from the rest of the opposition, and will try and do his level best. The gap was 3.3 seconds. Menton now 2 seconds behind Swiderski. Babishek a further 3 seconds adrift. Then it's a further 8 tenths back to Boaz Maximov, who's still battling away with Scott Marsh from Great Britain. And now has started to pull away. The gap looks to be at least 3/10 of a second, approximately, as we go on to lap number 7. Mies Huben has been putting in very, very quick laps indeed, but Max Swiderski did a 1 minute 22.359. That is 8 tenths less, well, more than Mies Huben, who just has been running consistently in the low to mid 1:21 second lap times. And on the 4th lap of the race, as we're now on lap 7, he set the best lap of a 1 minute 21.211. As Avisil Kutai and Casarino still battling away for the scraps on the table. That is for 7th on the road. But we are fast approaching the last throws of the Micromax contingent here at Karting Genk for the opening round of the Rotax Max Euro Trophy. So Huben pretty much just has to keep going and stay ahead at the minute to rest assured that he takes a ticket to Portimao in Portugal in early December. As Casarino still trying to find a way past Avisil Kutai from Austria. And now gets a good run coming out of turn number 9. They go down the short blast to the right-hand sweeper at turn 10. So Huben comes out of the final corner, crosses the line with 1 minute and 27 seconds on the clock remaining. So we will have this, plus another 2 additional laps, because the timer will run out the second he crosses the line. Gap now between 1st and 2nd extends even further still. A 1 minute 21.174 from Mies Huben. Max Swiderski tries to get as close as he can in terms of lap time, but is over a second adrift on that last tour. Casarino swarming all over the back bumper of Avisil Kutai from Austria. 4/7 as they go through turns 3, 4 and 5. And they both take the same approach line into turn 6, going as far wide as they dare without the backhand stepping out as they push down on the accelerator pedals. So Huben leads, Swiderski 2nd, Menton still in 3rd, but with the penalty it will drop him down to 6th place, and that will promote Babishek, Maximov and Marsh. Oh, Marsh having problems off of turn 7. He's dropped back, and this has been a weekend for the Winter Cup champion from late February to clearly forget. A real shame for him. So now that means that Avisil Kutai and Casarino now closing on the back bumper of Boaz Maximov. So they are battling now for what is effectively 5th position. Mies Huben now goes on to the penultimate lap of the race. The timer now expires. And still keeps it planted, still keeps it calm and consistent, even though the back end is trying to step out as soon as he presses the accelerator pedal. Swiderski now 6.471 seconds adrift. Jake Menton nearly 9.2 seconds adrift. But then adding the penalty of 5 seconds for a jump start will put the Dutch driver behind Zdenek Babishek and ahead of Boaz Maximov, and demoting the 31 down to 3rd place. Mies Huben still Now coming through turn 7. Max Siderski looking rather lonesome in second place. Jake Menton now being caught by Zdeněk Babíšek. So the Czech Republic driver in the number 25 still closing. And on the last lap alone, Babíšek actually put in a 1 minute 21.570. That was nearly 7 tenths quicker than Jake Menton. Mies Huben puts in a sub 1 minute 21 lap time on lap number 8. That was a 1 minute 20.794 on the timing screens, and has gone through over nearly half a second quicker than Max Siderski on sector 1, over a tenth quicker in sector 2. As now Huben is just under 1,360 metres away as he comes through turn 2 for the final time of being provisionally classified as your weekend winner for Micromax in the first round of the Euro Trophy season here in 2020. Zdeněk Babíšek is fast running out of time to try and get one up on Jake Menton. But nevertheless, Jake Menton will still receive a post-race penalty, and at the minute it looks like the number 31 from the Netherlands could end up in 4th place, which would promote the Czech Republic's Zdeněk Babíšek up to 3rd in the number 25. Huben now coming through into turn 8 for the last time. So Huben took the advantage in race 1 after a first lap incident involving Scott Marsh as they were squabbling over the lead. Saw the Brit turned 180 degrees the wrong way and ending up backwards just off the grass, off of turn 2. So Huben now, this time around, knows that this is pretty much in the bag. Through down to turn 12 comes the number 28 from the Netherlands. From GKS Lemons Power, the checkered flag waves for your provisional winner of the weekend. Heading to Portimao in early December, it is Mies Huben from the Netherlands. Max Siderski will take 20 points in this race, placing second, as Zdeněk Babíšek manages to get past Jake Menton on the... There's a bit of gesticulation between the pair there as well. I'm wondering if that's lost in translation there, maybe, but Zdeněk Babíšek ends up in 3rd place ahead of Jake Menton. Menton will drop to 5th as a result of the jump start time penalty, adding 5 seconds to the total race time. That'll mean that Boaz Maximov will take 4th. Jake Menton will take 5th. Dragos Avisil-Kutai from Austria 6th. Niklas Castellino from Germany 7th, with Scott Marsh rounding out the 8 strong that did start the race. Scott Marsh was resurgent but ended up going off, having problems or dramas off of turn 7. But Mies Huben will head to the International Trophy at Portimao on the 8th to the 13th of December.